first tulip of 2023.
Hey everyone, it is Brittany from Greenbee Floral in Southwestern Ontario, Canada, growing, designing, and learning together in Zone 6A. So we have a problem, and that problem is that it is April 15th and we are in the middle of a heat wave. I feel like I say this in every video, and flower farming just seems to be a roll with the punches kind of job, but when I tell you that having 27 degrees Celsius weather in the middle of April is not normal, it's not normal. So we have had all of our daffodils, half of our tulips, all of our hyacinths just absolutely explode into bloom this week, and we have not been able to keep up. Will we get the farm harvested, or are we going to lose all of these things that we planted? So right now I am, and it's so windy today. I'm pulling up all of, I think these are the Lady Van Eyck tulips. So as per usual, I like to get them when they're at this stage here, right? So this is just as the buds are starting to color up, because otherwise you risk the tulips getting way too open. They blow open too fast and then they don't last as long for the customer. And I like to remind people as well, you know, when you're selling your market bouquets, if you find that they sell better when they're fully colored, pull them at this stage anyways and let them color up like in your home or in your cooler, because they will do that, right? These tulips are cool that way. challenge right now is that many of the flowers that we had successioned essentially and figured out kind of bloom times for Mother's Day are starting to bloom now. And Mother's Day is still 3.5 weeks away for us. So that is a huge problem when we're thinking about just the crops that we're gonna have available in 3.5 weeks time. Even though we have a wholesaler that we have access to, we also need to make sure that we have our own flowers ready to go. So we filled 10 crates of tulips and hyacinths, and buckets of daffodils. But where's it all gonna go? We're gonna show you. So one of the biggest challenges we have had on the farm to this date is the fact that we do not have a walk-in cooler. We purchased the things to make a walk-in cooler, and just the busyness and burnout and getting the storefront going, anyways, a whole bunch of things just meant that we have not yet been able to get that walk-in cooler up and running. But this year, because the couple that runs the market stands that we've been selling our flowers at is retiring, and I think I can officially say that now, they have walk-in cooler space that we are able to rent from them, or at least pay the bill on the hydro to help keep it running throughout the summer. So we now have walk-in cooler space that we can start storing all of these crates and crates and crates of tulips and hyacinths that we're pulling off right now. It's gonna be a really big deal for the flowers for the summer. The reason it is so important that we get our tulips off in time is because the temperature is supposed to drop again next week back down to more seasonal temperatures. So we're talking, 10 to 18 degrees Celsius. And then we are also going to see some colder temps, stuff that is more like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. And so getting these tulips off in time also means that putting them in crates and getting them into our cooler means we will still have fresh flowers and stock ready to go when we have a little bit of a colder spell and we're not going to be harvesting as frequently. So hopefully we've done enough. I think we've gotten everything off that we needed to get off. And next up is going to be making some really beautiful bouquets to sell at the store this week. So of course, that walk-in cooler space is quintessential for us. It's going to be a huge game changer. There's a second bay actually beside the one that I showed you here in this video that we're going to be able to grow into. So we're going to be renting that space from the homeowners for this season and hopefully seasons to come. I just am really so thankful for these incredible changes and growth this year, and we got so much harvested, and previously we would not have had anywhere to put that. So now, even with the studio space that I'm in, and I'm going to give you guys a tour of this as well, but like our tiny cooler is just not going to fit any of that anymore. We're already packed full. So like the cooler here is now moved into the shop, and it's packed full already with all of the flowers we've been picking all week long. So this is really exciting for us. It's gonna be very different. Now I have to find a way to shove some tulips in there. The wholesaler is going to come pick those up directly from us tomorrow morning, and we did in fact get everything harvested before the rain. Yesterday, it was 27 degrees Celsius. Today, it is 5 degrees and it is snowing. So this morning we are headed out to another flower farm. She is somebody that I have known at least 5 or 6 years. We used to vendor together when we were both doing like handmade businesses way back before the world shut down, and she has ranunculus for us. I put an order in with her last week. She also has some additional peaches and cream tubers for me, so we are making a trade on Dahlia Tubers, and we are making a trade, well, I guess I'm not really a trade, money for ranunculus. So we are headed there to pick that stuff up, and I'm going to show you some sneak peeks of her greenhouse as well, because her flowers are a few weeks ahead of ours. She has a lot more growing space, and I'm really excited to show you some clips of that. So Caroline's story is similar to ours, whereas we discovered flower farming just before the pandemic, and it has been really fun to kind of grow up in the industry alongside of her and to just have another person there who's around my age and who's doing an incredible job. So these are some sneak peeks of her farm. You can see her ranunculus rows. She has some anemones in there as well. And then you can also see her greenhouse here where she has her seedlings. So her and her husband, Jeff, they have 4 kids, and they farm, I think, almost full-time now, flower farm full-time. So it's so fun to have more people in the industry that are local, that we can source from when our own crops aren't ready yet, and that we can learn and we can grow alongside of. So we're so happy to see her this morning. It's always fun when we see Caroline, but let's get back to our week on the farm. I'm now down in the basement, and I need to get some seeding done. With all the busyness really of like the last 3 weeks, we're really behind on seeding our summer annuals. It's not all bad. I have to get some successions of zinnias done tonight, and I should probably get some cosmos done. And I'm trying to think of what else has to be done. Celosia. There's a lot that needs to be done. The spring successions will be going out this week, but you can probably hear it in my voice that I am tired, and it's a bit of a slog right now to just try and force myself to get things done. this week we also need to start packing up all of your tuber orders, which will be headed out once the weather is kind of looking on the up and up again. Growing pains of expansion, right? I do love this. It's a little crazy. I think you have to be a little crazy. And as much as you love the flowers, you also have to continually have the time to continue making sure that your plants are being seeded, they're being watered, tubers are being dealt with. And even with our team, like we have an incredible team, but it's still so much work. And I think sometimes farmer florists, we make it look very Instagram worthy and we forget to talk about how exhausting it all is as well. But it's okay, we're gonna quietly seed tonight. So tonight we're gonna do zinnias. I still gotta start my second successions of Queen Anne's lace. So much to do. But yeah, we're gonna start with zinnias. We're gonna get some of the Bennery giant zinnia mixes done tonight, as well as the Queen Lime series. I wanna get some of those started so at least we have partial rows of those going in. So my goal is to get, I think, about 100 of each of those sown tonight, and then we'll see how far I get before I run out of dirt and momentum. It's really going to be the momentum, I think. So one of the things that we needed this year was actually trays. So these came from, we have a lot of trays that were starting to get holes like in the corners here. So last year when we bought the greenhouse, they also had all of these trays, and so we took all of these trays. The gentleman used to grow marijuana, and so we washed these and sanitized them all. There's just like sun staining and stuff on them, but these are working really well. So basically we save our pods, our seed pod squares every year. We got a whole bunch of these from a secondhand store in town. I know of people who manage it, and they emailed us. They had a whole bunch of these dropped off, so we've been using the same sets of these for years. We just keep rewashing them when we use them for our larger annuals like zinnias and celosia and marigolds and those things that are going to be just a little too big for soil blocks. Because while we like soil blocks, I can seed 2 of those per cell, so I can like put 2 zinnia seeds per cell. It's just this way you can bury the seed, because they are a little bit bigger and they don't fit very nicely in those tiny little bit of soil blocks, and they tend to have bigger roots right off the bat, and so they kind of overwhelm the soil blocks. Could I do this a faster way? Yes. Do I want to do this a faster way? No. This is methodical and relaxing tonight. dahlias from us. We are in the process of packing those up, and we are going to start sending those out kind of end of next week. We're finally looking like we're going to see weather that is consistent enough to get those Dahlia tubers out, and so I'm happy to say that they should all be in your hands well before they need to go in the ground, which isn't until after your last frost. But I'm just potting up the tubers, the peaches and cream tubers that I got from Caroline at Longwood's Flower Farm, and they look really lovely. So these are going to be great. Already have like nice active growth starting. Well, so this one's already got a bud. So this one's going to be being potted up. I should be able to full row now with these additional tubers of the peaches and cream. We plant 25 dahlias in like one side of our rows. That way, like one piece of drip irrigation is doing 2 rows at the same time. So there's 50 dahlias in like a double row. So I should be able to get one of my single rows with the additional cuttings now and all of those additional tubers, which is really good. So I'm going to work on getting these potted up now, and I think that's going to be it for this video. I know it's been a while. We are still going to show you the shop at some point, but there was some sneak peeks in here, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. If you would like to continue following our flower journey, of course, hit that subscribe button below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, please post them down below. Hope you all have a great day. Bye, guys.